Okay, so hey guys, so today's video is going to be another Best in Beauty video, and today we are going to be talking about blushes, highlighters, bronzers, and a finishing powder because I just really wanted to throw in the finishing powder in this video. I don't know why. So we're just going to jump right into it because I have quite a few products to talk about. Also, I kind of had an epic fail before this video started. I kind of shattered one of my Becca blushes, so it kind of looks like this. So I'm just going to swatch it for you guys. You know what it looks like, but I actually found it on my purchase history on Sephora, so I'm just going to go replace it tomorrow because thank God it's in my purchase history from like June, so I can just go replace it. So I'm really, really happy that it's still in my purchase history so I don't have to worry about it. That is literally probably, I think that's the second pan from Becca that I've broken. It's actually the third thing that I have broken from Becca. And the thing about Sephora is that it's much easier to replace something rather than returning it to Ulta, which is good. Like I really wanted to return a couple of things to Ulta recently, but the bonus about buying things from Ulta is that you get the points for it and then you get to use it to put towards purchases, but to purchase something at Sephora, their purchase history goes back way further than Ulta, and then you can just return it if you don't like it. If it's like 6 months old, or if it's broken, or if you've used it, they don't really care. They take it back and let you replace anything or exchange it for anything. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to jump right into the video. So I think I'm going to talk about blushes first so we can get those out of the way, and then we'll talk about, you know what? Let's do bronzers first. I feel like bronzers and contour powders will just be much easier. So I have to say my all-time favorite bronzer probably I've ever tried before, because I only recently got into bronzing this past year, and I feel like the one that I fell in love with was the Too Faced Sweethearts Bronzer Baked Luminous Glow Bronzer in the shade Sweet Tea. This is mostly my summer bronzer, and it's really gorgeous because it has like a double-sided pan, so it's more like adding the color on this side, and this side really adds like the glow and luminosity, so it's like not too glowy of a highlight, like it doesn't have to sparkle in your cheeks. I don't know what it is about this. It's just so beautiful when you put it on your skin. I feel like my blush is a little bit uneven today, forgive me, but I feel like it looks okay right now. I just feel like because I've been wearing my makeup since like 10 this morning, I feel like it might be fading a little bit, but I still think it looks okay, so we're just going to roll with it. But yeah, this is my summer bronzer, so I only really use it in the summertime. But it's gorgeous. It's so super natural on the skin. Gives your skin such a beautiful sun-kissed, glowy look to it. And it's just, it is so gorgeous. I am in love with this. Let's just give it a little swatch. Why not? Just to show you what it looks like. It's just really beautiful. And also, when I didn't really have that much time to do my makeup in the morning, if I had to get up really early, I would sometimes run this through my crease, and then I would put on some like other lid shade from like MAC or something. And this looked so gorgeous in the crease because I feel like this is very multifunctional. You can use it as a bronzer, you can use it as a blush, you can use it as a crease shade, and I feel like it gives a really beautiful glowy life to your crease, and it was just really beautiful. And then the other bronzer that I'm absolutely obsessed with that I have to talk about is the Galactic Beauty matte bronzer in the shade Cabo. I am so happy that I tried this, guys, because it's phenomenal. This is probably the best bronzer I've ever tried that is super pigmented, but it blends out so easily, and it has such a pretty undertone. Like, it's warm, but at the same time, it's like cool toned. It's like a medium brown, but it kind of has like it's like a light brown shade, but it has a little bit of coolness to it as well. I'm just going to swatch it for you because I am so bad at explaining colors, but it's like, it just has like kind of like a weird color to it, but once you apply it to your face, it really has a beautiful finish to the skin. It's actually not as, it's kind of similar in color to the Too Faced one. Just the Galactic one has a little bit more yellow in it. And I honestly am obsessed with Galactic's face products. I think that their face products are so much better than their liquid lipsticks. So I'm obsessed with their face products, and I'm so glad that I picked this up. I got this at Rite Aid because they sell Girlactic products at Rite Aid, so I was so happy to find them at one of the Rite Aids that it's close to me, and I'm so happy when you can find like the Balm Cosmetics or Girlactic in stores so you can really like try them out and see what you like, and you can swatch the products and stuff like that, and you can just buy them in store. So, and then we're just going to jump into contour powders really quickly. I basically only have probably, I think there's only 4 that I'm going to talk about actually. So, and then I'm just going to segue right into blushes. The first one is by far my all-time favorite. This is pretty hard to beat for me. I use this so freaking often, like basically 4 or 5 times a week, because I use it so much for work, and then I also use it for very natural makeup days, but then I also use it to like just add some color to my skin. And obviously I'm like already holding it up. I'm talking about the Marc Jacobs Instamark Dreamer Filter. I just think that this is amazing. It really just blends out so easily, but it's also so natural. And as you can see, I have hit major pan on this side. I just really want to show it to you guys because it just has the perfect undertone for me. It's not too cool. It's not too warm. Also, this is amazing for brightening up your contour when you use it as like a contouring powder. But I've been using it a lot as a bronzer, and I really like how it looks. Not that I really know how to bronze my skin half the time, and I feel like it's kind of uneven right now. It's kind of annoying me. I don't know why. Maybe because of like the contrast between like the orange and the like darker lip color that I have on, because I feel like this color is a little bit purpley because I'm just like chilling a little bit more today. Like I did work earlier today and then I went out with my boyfriend, so I didn't feel like changing over my makeup just to go out with my boyfriend. So I just felt like, again, being really relaxed today, so I just wanted to film a video when I came home. And this is the first time I'm not drunk filming a Best in Beauty video. So yeah, it's phenomenal. I love it. It has a really beautiful light undertone, perfect for fair to light skin tones. And I don't know, it's just phenomenal. Probably won't swatch that well because I use it so freaking often. But honestly, once you try this on your face, it blends out so, and it just looks so natural, and it's so buttery and smooth on the face. And then this is, again, phenomenal for brightening up your contour or brightening up your under eye. It's just my all-time favorite. I love it so freaking much. And then the contouring powders that I really loved this year, the first one is from the Kat Von D Shade and Light contouring palettes. Honestly, again, I think Kat Von D is going to be in every single category that I mentioned, but so is MAC, and so is Too Faced and stuff like that. So, but this was definitely one of my favorite products this year. It's very, very pigmented, but it also blends out very easily. My hair is driving me crazy. And that's what I really like about it, is that it can look a little bit muddy, but once you blend it out, it looks really beautiful. And I mainly only use like this part of the palette. Like I don't really use this side of the palette, which I feel like that's kind of a waste because I only use like these 3 colors, but they're so beautiful on the skin. And they give you a really nice chiseled contour. But it also looks very natural because, well, not super natural, but I just feel like the undertones really work. That they're not too ashy or anything like that. That I feel like they just work really nicely for fair skin tones. So this one is the first shade. It's much more cooler than the second shade because this one has more of like a cool undertone, and this one is a little bit more warm for like warmer skin tones. And then I really use this one to brighten up the contour. This is so pigmented. All these powders are so pigmented, and that's what I love about Kat Von D. But her powders are always super blendable. So the first shade's called Subconscious, and this one is called Shadow Play, and then this one is called Levitation. So literally obsessed with those, and I can't get enough of this palette. I'm hoping to just purchase the individual ones though, because it's not like I'm going to hit pan on this anytime soon. I know a lot of people hit pan on this very easily because it's like their most used contour kit, but I only purchased it just a little while ago, like a few months ago, but it's freaking bomb. And then the next one I wanted to talk about was the NARS Laguna bronzer, and I have it in this blush palette from Stephen Klein, so I just wanted to talk about this really quickly, and then we'll get into my favorite NARS blushes. So Laguna actually has just a perfect undertone to bronze or contour with. I really like using it for contouring though, because I feel like, again, it has like kind of that similar undertone that like the Galactic Cabo bronzer has. They honestly could be kind of dupes for each other, but the Galactic one is just a tiny bit more warmer. The NARS one is a little bit more cool toned, but again, they have that really unusual like middle color that it's like so perfect for a lot of skin tones. And I feel like I've been recommending it a lot recently at Ulta because we've been just now starting to carry NARS in the store, and all we really sell is like Orgasm and the Laguna bronzer. And like everybody's asking about it, and I'm like, yeah, it's really beautiful. And see how it has like a little bit of a glow to it, like it's not completely matte. So that's why I feel like it really is beautiful for bronzing. And then the last contour powder I want to talk about is from this MAC palette, and I'm going to just talk about this shade right here. I don't think I'm really going to be mentioning these as my best in beauty for blushes. I mean, yes, I love MAC blushes, but I'm going to get to those soon. But I just wanted to mention this specific shade. This is so beautiful for contouring. This is just called the shade Sculpt. I know, like mad boring, but that's what they called it. This is one of the pre-made palettes from MAC, and honestly, this palette is flipping amazing. The value in this palette was amazing as well. But this is really amazing for contouring. I feel like it's more like a stiffer powder than like the Kat Von D, because the Kat Von D is very powdery. The Laguna is kind of similar to this one where it's very stiff. But it gives you a very nice chiseled contour, but also blends out beautifully, and it's like the perfect undertone for contouring, and it's really, really beautiful. I was obsessed with this at one point, and I still love using it, and I really love using it with the Emphasize powder. That is a bomb powder as well. It does a really good job of like blurring your pores. I probably could use this more as like a finishing powder, but I tried using it as an under eye setting powder. I wasn't as big of a fan of it as I was my Laura Mercier powder. Okay, so now let's jump into blushes. The first blushes I really just have to mention. These were probably my favorites this year. I would have to say my MAC blushes were probably the most used blushes that I used this year. Not even kidding. I freaking love MAC blushes so much. But I'm not going to go into all of them. I think I'm just going to narrow it down to like my top 5. And they're going to be pretty boring because they're all like neutral shades. But honestly, I can't really like narrow it down to anything else because you guys know I freaking love them. So I'm mostly going to be talking about the ones in this palette. Probably my #1 blush from them this year was probably Melba. Melba is probably my all-time favorite blush from MAC. I mean, it's really hard for me to pick just one, but this one was probably my all-time favorite this year. I did recently just depot it. It used to be in the regular pan, but I just figured since I use it so often that it would just be so much easier just to stick it in the actual palette. And it's just, I know that this is a favorite of a lot of people, and it's just because it's like a very subtle blush, but it adds a lot of life to your face, and it's also very pigmented on your face. So you can see it like kind of has an orangey undertone to it, and you think it would be like kind of like an intense orange on your cheeks, but it's really not. It's really just adds a lot of life to your face. And then the other one that I had to mention is MAC's Margin. I feel like I mix this blush so much with other blushes just to give them a little bit of life. Like if I use like a darker blush, I'll always top it off with this one because I feel like this one just gives such a beautiful glow to the cheeks. Because this is not one of their matte blushes. It has more of like a sparkly sheen to it. It's like more like a sheen rather than like a matte blush. And look how pretty that is. It's like a rosy color on your cheeks because it's not exactly brown, and I feel like it just transforms on whoever wears it, and it really is gorgeous. And then the last one I wanted to talk about in this palette is the MAC Spring Sheen Blush. I am obsessed with this blush. It's so beautiful in the summertime. It just has, again, that beautiful like luminosity to it. It's not matte. And it just looks like it gives your cheeks such a beautiful glow. And that's that color right there. See, it's kind of in between Margin and Melba. Like if they had a baby, like that's what it would be. That's probably why I love it so much. And yeah, that's pretty much it from this palette. I really do love all of these though. I wore them constantly. This one is Harmony. This one is Style, which is gorgeous. Modern Mandarin, Well Dressed, and Love Cloud. They're all amazing. You really can't go wrong with MAC blushes. And then, of course, I couldn't do a Best in Beauty video without mentioning MAC's Warm Soul from their Mineralized Skin Finish line. Their mineralized skin finishes are amazing anyway. This really adds, again, a beautiful glow to your face. Like MAC blushes, I feel like are never really that matte. They either add not like a burst of pigment, but like just enough pigment that it's not like overboard. But this just adds a really beautiful sheen to your face because like it has that beautiful, wow, that was weird. I thought it like kind of shook around in the pan a little bit. But see, it doesn't look like anything special. It is kind of very similar to the other one though, but look at that. Isn't it so beautiful, that one right there? It's so pretty, and I don't know one person that does not like this blush. It's just so gorgeous on, and the formula of MAC blushes, they are very long lasting, and they're just super easy to apply. I'm wearing 2 of them today because I did actually wear one from this palette, and then I threw on another one on top of it. And then my other favorite this year was definitely MAC's Sunbask. I do have this in the regular compact as well, but since I was already talking about it here, I just wanted to point it out in this palette because I have it in this palette as well. Again, very similar to what Margin and Warm Soul look like, but I just feel like all of them are very unique in their own way. Sunbask is just so pretty. Like, again, I feel like it's a mixture of like Warm Soul and I think this is Spring Sheen, just like mixed together. Really beautiful. And then I have to mention Peaches, which is also beautiful too. Like, I just am such a sucker for coral or neutral blushes. I love pink blushes as well too. This one is Peaches right here, right? No, this one. That one is Peaches. So pretty. This one right here. And then Fleur Power, such a gorgeous matte pink shade. So those are all the MAC blushes. It's basically my entire collection except for like basically one, because that's the one that's probably like the least pigmented out of all of them. But I really just could not go without mentioning my MAC blushes. And then my other favorites this year, I think I really want to say, I mean, honestly, all of these are like my top 5 favorite blush formulas, so it's not really in any order. I really fell in love with my Makeup Geek blushes this year. And then I got to fill my palette, but honestly, these blushes are amazing. And again, they're pretty much, MAC is pretty much the same price as these if you buy them in the, sorry, I'm like, my blushes are like falling. If you buy them in the individual pans, the MAC blushes are pretty much the same price as what these are. And I'm just going to do my top 3 in these. I'm just going to have to say my older favorites. Definitely my top favorite one is Makeup Geek's Spellbound, which is this really gorgeous mauve-y pink shade. Oh, it's so pretty on the cheeks, like so pretty. And the Makeup Geek blushes are so pigmented, so gorgeous. And then this one is called Infatuation. So perfect for an everyday blush, but again, it's like a kick of pigment, and it's a very neutral shade that a lot of skin tones can wear. It's just a perfect everyday blush. Both of these are perfect everyday blushes. Now I want to wear my Makeup Geek blushes tomorrow. So that's that shade right there. Again, amazing. And I really love mixing Infatuation with this blush, but also I love this blush on its own. And my other favorite is Romance. And this one is just, again, very similar to what Spring Sheen looks like, but it has a little bit more pink. Spring Sheen is a little bit more orange. But I kind of feel like the formula is like similar to MAC blushes, but I feel like Makeup Geek blushes are a little bit more buttery when you stick your fingers in. And this one is Romance right there. Again, gorgeous. And I just want to mention one of the new shades. Probably my favorite shade out of the newer ones is this shade called Cherish. It's like such an odd color because it's like a pinky color, but it's kind of a very neutral pink. I don't know. It's like not as pink as Spellbound, and it's just again, a beautiful everyday blush. And that's what it looks like right there. Really pretty. It kind of comes off more mauve-y when I swatch it, so I guess it's more of a mauve shade. Gorgeous. Love them. Love the Makeup Geek blushes. So yeah, love those. And then, of course, I couldn't really say a Best in Beauty video without mentioning my Becca blushes, so I just want to mention the ones that I absolutely love. I just want to be careful with the one that is broken. I don't want to hold up the one that's broken. Oh, it's right here. So, yeah, I'm going to be talking about my Becca blushes because these are my babies. They're pretty much my favorite blush formula of all time besides like NARS and MAC. So I'm going to be talking about 4 shades because I did try out a newer formula this year. But I can't really talk about my Best in Beauty without talking about Wild Honey. This is the Becca Mineral Blush in the shade Wild Honey. Honestly, nothing ever really comes close to beating this blush for me. It's literally phenomenal. It's just, their powders are so amazing. They're so pigmented. But this one is just so easily blendable, like much more blendable than the other shades. I feel like this one's not as pigmented, but it's pigmented. But it's much easier to blend out because I feel like some of the other ones are like too pigmented that it's a little bit hard to blend them out sometimes, and it's very easy to go overboard. But I feel like this one's better for like at a beginner, and it's just a beautiful like apricot shade. I could wear this blush for the rest of my life. I love it so much. It's so gorgeous on. Phenomenal. I could talk about that forever. And then my other favorite is Flower Child, which is, you know, their beautiful peachy pink shade. I could wear these 2 blushes forever. Like, they're so amazing. This one is very unique because, like, it's not your typical pink shade. Again, it has more of, like, that peachy pink with a little bit of, like, glitteriness in it. And it just gives a beautiful sheen to the face. Amazing. These are talked about for a reason. They're super pigmented. They last so long on the cheeks that's why like they're so amazing. And then of course Songbird is my other favorite. These are all the mineralized formula. I mean the mineral blush formula. It's so gorgeous because it's like a orangey glittery shade. I don't know what the heck my dogs are barking at right now. I really don't. So that's what that one looks like. Really beautiful as well. I don't know why they're barking. So yeah, this one is very pigmented compared to the other 2. I just don't know like what else to say about each item except for it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, because like I feel like people will have their own personal preference when it comes to blush. I feel like blush is a very personal thing because it's like either some people love a blush or some people will hate a blush because it depends on how their skin is, if you have oily skin or dry skin, if you like more pigmented blushes, if you like pinky blushes, if you like peach blushes, if you like neutral blushes. It's just like there's such an endless amount of options, even though you don't feel like, because you feel like every blush is the same. It's really not. There's plenty of different options to try out there. And by far, I just feel like the Becca formula pretty much kicks everybody's ass. They just do blushes amazingly. So, and then the last 2 I want to mention are the newer formulas. And these ones are the luminous blushes, and these are the ones that are like based on their shimmering skin perfectors. I'm just going to hold up one of them right now because again, the other one I did break, but I love both of them equally. This one is in the shade Tiger Lily, and I use these ones more in like the summertime because they give the most beautiful, like intense glow to your face, because these, girl, these are intense, like intense, because they're super pigmented. Sorry, like I'm like trying to like drag my jewelry down every single time because I feel like they get hidden from the sweatshirt. But again, amazing. Like, oh, they're just so pretty. It's like a beautiful tangerine gold shade. Oh, it's basically like Songbird on crack. Like this is Tiger Lily and this one is Songbird. Like pretty much looks like Songbird, but just with a little bit more glitter in it. I like just noticed that now that they pretty much could be dupes for each other. I mean, they are from the same brand, but maybe that's what their inspiration was. To just take Songbird and just put a little bit more luminosity into it. And then the last one I wanted to talk about is Camellia. And this one is a gorgeous, like, hot pink shade. And I just want to hold it up just like this, just to give you a general idea. But I'm going to go replace it tomorrow. But I just wanted to swatch it for you. And this one is a, like, beautiful, intense pink shade. Again, phenomenal. And this one is a little bit more hot pink than Flower Child. But again, it could be Flower Child on crack. Do you see that? That is Camellia. And they just have such an intense luminosity to them, but they don't have any chunks of glitter in them. They just make your skin look glowy and beautiful in the summertime. I just feel like it gives the most beautiful flush of color to your cheeks in the summertime. That's why I wear them so much around that time. So yeah, those were my Becca blushes, and then I just have 2 more blush formulas to talk about, and then we can jump into highlighters, and then we'll be done. Wow, okay. So now I'm going to be, of course, mentioning my NARS blushes, because I have to mention my NARS blushes, because NARS, again, makes a kick-ass formula as well. And this is pretty much my all-time favorite blush next to Wild Honey from Becca. And I have to talk about Madly, which is like... It's just, if you have not tried this blush, I highly suggest that you do. If you really are looking for something that will go with everything, and you're looking for something that you just want to wear every single day, but you can also wear it with a amped up look, and it will really like just bring all the attention to your lips rather than your cheeks, but you just need something that goes with everything, is this. It's literally this. It just adds... But it's not dead looking. It's not completely flat. It's not completely neutral. It just adds this beautiful, like, life to your cheeks. It just literally just gives your cheeks life. And that's what I really love about this. And I got so, I got so turned on by this blush from Kathleen Lights. Like, see, it's not completely brown. It has, like, a gorgeous light brown undertone. It's just, it's perfect. It's literally perfect. I'm obsessed with this blush. It's my all-time favorite NARS blush. Nothing has topped it. I just feel like it's so gorgeous for every day. And I wear this literally probably 2 or 3 times a week. Because if I don't know what other blush to wear, or if I'm like running late, I just grab this. Because I know it's always going to look amazing. Like there's not one day that this blush does not look good. And it's not like super pigmented either. But it just has like this beautiful... And I don't love super pigmented blushes. Like... I know some brands think, oh, we want like a wham bam, like crazy amount of pigment for a blush, but we really don't, because we want to build it up. Like, I feel like it's very easy to mess up with like Becca blushes sometimes, but I still love them. Then the next blush I wanted to talk about is my other favorite from NARS this year, and this one is Lovejoy. Ever since I fell in love with Madly, I really wanted to try out something that was again more of a neutral tone. And I just fell in love with Lovejoy, because this one is a little bit darker, but it has like and they don't really have glitter in them. It's just pretty much an overlay. If you're scared of the glitter in NARS blushes, because I was originally scared of the glitter in them, and then I tried them on my face and I was like, oh my god, they're like just like Becca blushes. They add like such a gorgeous like luminosity to your face. I mean, like, not really luminosity, they just add a glow to your skin. So this one is Lovejoy on the end right there. See, again, very light. It's a little bit more of like a pinky brown shade than Madly. But once I found this, like, I couldn't stop using it because, again, I just really wanted like a darker version of Madly. And it's just so beautiful. And then the last one I wanted to talk about, and then I'm just going to talk about one in one of the blush palettes, is the cult classic favorite blush, which is Orgasm. I know that, like, you guys probably hear about this blush so often, but this was actually the first time that I got to try this blush was this year. I can't believe what I was missing. This blush is so beautiful. I almost wore it today, but I just wanted to wear something a little bit more understated, like, due to what the lips looked like. And, again, it has, like, that I really love blushes like this where they have like a luminosity to them. Let me just wipe this off. I feel like you can't really see these swatches right now. And that's what that one looks like. Again, you can't really see them, but again, you really have to apply some NARS blushes to your face. Same thing with like Hourglass ones because you're not going to be able to see how pigmented it is until you actually apply it to your face. So I love Orgasm. It's just a beautiful, it's not too pink on the cheeks. It's like not as pink as what's in the pan, and it gives like such a gorgeous flush of color to your face. And then the last NARS blush I wanted to talk about was Luster from the Stephen Klein palette. I did want this in the full size, but then when I got this last year and I realized I was getting luster in it, I'm like, what do I need to buy the full size for? Again, it's such a gorgeous like apricot blush, and it's like one of my go-tos from NARS blushes if I just want something neutral, but also something that will give me a really beautiful glow and sheen to my face. It's phenomenal. I love it. And then probably the newest formula that I discovered. Oh, God. Probably the newest, oh, thank God it was a MAC highlight, so at least those are a lot more durable than Becca blushes. I swear, they really need to make their packaging a little bit more durable. The last blush formula I wanted to talk about are the Urban Decay Afterglow blushes. I fell in love with this formula this year. I feel like that, I can't believe that Urban Decay didn't have a full line of blushes before they came out with these, and they kicked ass on these. Like, these last a really long time on the skin, and I'm so happy I got to try them out. I actually own 5 of them, but I didn't want to mention the other 2 yet because I've only had those for like a month or 2. But these ones I like have loved like the entire year. So the first one is called Video. This one is so simple and easy to use for like people that want, like, again, an everyday blush. I really don't feel like my blushes are swatching right now. But it's a really gorgeous, like, again, everyday blush. It has a really beautiful neutral undertone. And it's really gorgeous with any type of look. Again, this is a really amazing go-to one as well. Like, just as good as Madly. Then the next one is Kinky. This one, probably my favorite one from this formula because it's not as matte as Video is. It's more of like a glowy finish, and it's more of like a peachy color, but it's not like orange, and that's what I really love about this one. So that one is Kinky right there. And then the last one is called Obsessed, and this one is a gorgeous, gorgeous pink shade. Look how pretty that is, right? And this one is, it's not too intense on the cheeks. And these are like very pigmented, but at the same time they're buildable. So that's why I really love the formula of this. And also they're very buttery to the touch. And I just feel like they last a really good amount of time on the skin. They last pretty much 8 hours. So I think that these ones kicked the Too Faced Love Flush ones out of the park because I thought that these were 10 million times better than those. So yeah, these ones are amazing. And then the last 2 blushes I wanted to talk about, and then we will talk, actually 3. Oh my god, this video is going to be 10 million years long. The last 3 I wanted to talk about, I just wanted to give a quick mention to Benefit's Dandelion. This one I also got to try this year as well, and I just think it's a really gorgeous, like, light pink shade. Really, really pretty. It's just a really nice, like, soft pink shade for every day. It really, again, won't swatch very well at all, but once you apply it to the face, it's a gorgeous light pink color. But I also did own this previously in the Benefit Cheek Palette that my sister got me for Christmas one year. And then this one is the Hourglass Ethereal Low Ambient Lighting Powder Blush. Again, this pretty much swatches like nothing, but on the face, it's just the most natural pink blush that you will ever use in your life. It's right there. Literally going to look like the softest baby pink, but it's so beautiful on your cheeks because it just gives like a natural glowy finish to your cheeks. I know I'm going to say glowy like 10 million times, but I don't know how else to describe it. And then the last blush, I had to just give a quick shout out to my Kat Von D Everlasting Blush in the shade Bellissima. This is probably my most long-lasting blush that I actually own. Like, no joke. I feel like I could wear this blush for 16 hours and it probably wouldn't go anywhere. I don't know why she reformulated them. I really just don't understand, because that was probably like the worst product she's put out, and I didn't bother buying any of them because I heard that the feedback was horrible, and then she reformulated them, and I think they're a lot better now. But she discontinued these, and it's like, these are so long lasting, so pigmented. I feel like they would last through a freaking storm. So I don't know why that she discontinued these, but I really wish I could have gotten my hands on more colors. And for some reason, I only snagged one. I should have snagged like 5 when I actually bought them. Okay. And just the last blush palette really, really quickly. I mean, I do love the NARS one, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out to this Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. The blush palette is so much better than the eyeshadow palette. I'm like brain farting, but really gorgeous. These are really pigmented, but also really blendable. And again, they pretty much last just as long as the Afterglow formula, which I'm pretty sure that they put the Afterglow formula in this, because this came out a little bit earlier than those came out, and then they came out with the full line of the Afterglow blushes. So I feel like this was pretty much like a precursor to launching those, and they like knocked it out of the park with these two. These are gorgeous. Okay, so now let's jump into highlights, because we are done with blushes now. So obviously my favorite highlighters ever that pretty much did not get topped this year at all are my Becca highlighters. My favorite highlighters ever. They're just amazing. I'm wearing one of them today. Phenomenal. Just nothing can slay the game other than these. Like, honestly, they're so intense, so beautiful, so gorgeous, and they last all day. Like, I probably only have to apply them like once, but pretty much like the highlight like stays there. So of course my top favorite one has to be Champagne Pop. I mean, I have constantly talked about this highlight basically all year, and this was the first year where I used it consistently throughout the whole year, because I bought it, you know, when it launched in August of 2015, because last year was 2016. So, I don't know, like, just Jaclyn slayed it out of the park with this. It's just the perfect peachy, champagne-y undertone, and it's just so beautiful. Every time I swatch it, it's like, it's heaven. It's gorgeous. I'm serious, if you haven't tried this, especially if you have fair skin, it's so pretty. They're just so buttery to the touch. They're so intense, so beautiful. Nobody does it better. And then, of course, Opal is my other favorite. Look how beautiful that is. Like, come on. And that's literally how it looks on your face. Like, they look wet on your face. And this one is Opal right there. Like, come on. They literally, like, that's how they look on your face. Like, no joke. They're just so intense and so beautiful. And then the next one is Pearl, which I really fell in love with this year. Like, I got it way at the beginning of the year. Fell in love with it this year. It's like a beautiful frosty white highlight. And I'm actually wearing this one today over another highlighter, because I just had to switch it fast after work, so I just didn't really want to just take off my makeup when I could just throw on a different highlighter. It's so intense, but it's so pretty. So beautiful. Like, come on. I was so happy when they came out with this shade. And then the last one, of course, is Becca's Moonstone, which I love mixing Opal and Moonstone. I mean, Opal and Moonstone together and Opal and Pearl, they just look really, really pretty together. And Moonstone is probably the most natural out of the 4, because it's not as intense, but it's still really, really gorgeous. And I got really into it again, because I feel like there was a point after I replaced Moonstone, I wasn't really using it as much, and then I was like, oh my god, it is really pretty. It has more of a yellow undertone. So this one is probably your best friend if you don't like really like those frosty, intense highlights. So yeah. And then the last Becca highlighter I wanted to talk about really quickly is just one of them from the Becca Jaclyn Hill palette. And this one is my beloved Prosecco Pop right here. It is such a gorgeous gold shade. Becca, I don't know why you didn't release this permanently. They should have because it's so intensely beautiful. Look at that gold. Like, come on. It's like liquid gold on your cheeks, and I love using this for like a really intense gold highlight. It pretty much beats all of my gold highlighters. Like, I love it so much, and I use it with Champagne Pop all the time. So I have the split pan of it, but I was really hoping that it would be a permanent. Why did I only grab 2 of these? Hold on one second. Okay, my bad. I forgot to grab the last one of these. So pretty much the other highlighters that came in second place this year, and I literally am so obsessed with these that these are probably like my top favorites, like tied with Becca. I love these. These are the Anastasia Glow Kits. Anastasia kicked it out of the park with highlighters this year. And I actually have been using her newer glow kit recently, but nothing compares to these glow kits right here. Like the first 3 glow kits and the Moonchild glow kit are phenomenal. I'm just going to lightly breeze over these because I feel like I've talked about these like a million times. I think my favorite out of the 3 is the Gleam kit because I was so obsessed with this at one point, and I was really using this like so much because I loved the pinky highlights in here. I would use it like every day for like a good 3 or 4 days. Like really gorgeous. Definitely my favorites were Starburst and Crushed Pearl. Oh, they're just so pretty, so buttery, like really beautiful highlighters. Like, and they don't really the only downfall about the Becca ones is that they crumble a little bit, but they're still like beautiful and intense. They just, they feel a little bit crumbly on your face, but it's not like they have like fallout or anything. But these, like, they're so smooth. I don't know, she put like crack in here too. Like, Anastasia, you really impressed me this year with your face and your eye products. Not so much your lipsticks. Pretty much, and I love your lip glosses too, but, and then the next one, I definitely have to say, that glow kit was definitely my other favorite one because these were the first 2 that I got, but I really do think that these are 2 are my favorite. Like, oh, they're so good. And my 2 favorite shades from this one were Sunburst and Bubbly. Dripping in Gold I love as well, but I definitely use these 2 the most. This one is Sunburst and this one is Bubbly. And these are really gorgeous in the summertime. Ooh, ooh, they're so beautiful. Like glowy heaven. Right there. It's probably going to be way too bright for you to see. But, like, they're, like, blinding. Like, come on. Like, they're just, they're so good. So good. And then the last one from these glow kits is Sun Dipped, which is, again, so beautiful. I really only use 2 of the shades out of here. I really only use Summer and Moonstone, but they're so pretty. Like, so pretty. Like, Summer is kind of like Sunburst and Bubbly had a baby, because it's like a very, like, goldy, not a yellow gold, but kind of more like a light gold. And then Moonstone is a gorgeous, like, orangey champagne shade, kind of similar to Champagne Pop. So those are the 2 shades. Right here. So pretty. Oh my god. I'm like literally blinding you with highlight. Like, I don't even know. Oh, there we go. Right here. Like, look at all that highlight. Like, I'm basically just like, here you go. Here's highlight. So you just really have to try them out for yourself. But honestly, like, I knew that these would be good, like, and I realized why everybody was raving by them just by swatching them, just by dipping your fingers in them. You're like, oh, crap, this is going to be amazing. So, yeah, really good. And then the one that I have fallen in love the most recently with, and I also use this, I got this around probably like September, is the Moonchild Glow Kit. I heard so many good things about this one compared to the Sweets one. I was like, this is the one that I want. I know I love pink and I love pinky highlighters, but I'm like, I really want to try this out because I really want to try out something more unusual. And I was not disappointed by this palette. I knew that this was going to be my go-to wintry palette, and I just used this a lot like last week, like when I was going out and stuff. And it's so pretty. It's so pretty on. And my favorite shades out of here are Blue Ice, Lucky Clover, and Pink Heart, probably because those are all most wearable, and Blue Moon. Blue Moon has a gorgeous blue shift to it. It's so pretty, and topped with Blue Ice, like, they slay, like, literally slay. I'm just going to swatch those three. This one is Blue Ice. Look how pretty. This one is Pink Heart, and that one is Lucky Clover. Blue Ice has that beautiful blue shift to it. Pink Heart has that gorgeous pink shift to it. And Lucky Clover has that gorgeous green shift. And then I gotta swatch Blue Moon. Oh, it's so pretty. And it's so pigmented. That one is Blue Moon right there. Oh, like, come on. They're phenomenally gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I always use these as highlighters. I don't really use them as eyeshadows. I just love the purple highlight. Like, Purple Horseshoe is like hella intense, but it's so pretty. And then the last two from Anastasia that I had to mention that I really love these as well are the two Anastasia Illuminators. And these are like the original ones that she came out with last year. And I feel like they were so in high demand this year that she brought back So Hollywood, because these were discontinued for a little while. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, why would you discontinue the two most popular shades for like fairer skin tones when they only kept around the like ones for like darker skin tones, which is like, that's amazing. I'm really happy that Anastasia is trying to cater to like darker skin tones, but it's like a little weird that she just took away the ones for that were the most popular, because these two were the most popular. So Hollywood is just such a gorgeous gold highlight. It's my other all-time favorite gold highlight. Just nothing really comes close to this when it comes to gold highlighters. I tried out a couple more gold highlighters this year, and I just always come back to this one and Prosecco Pop because they're definitely my two favorites. It has like a gorgeous gold undertone to it, but it's also kind of like a soft gold. It's so pretty. And then the last one is Starlight. This one is so beautiful on the skin. I really love this for the winter time as well, and also this is so great for fair skin tones. It's not as intense, well, it is as intense as Pearl, but it's not as white like Becca's Pearl, because I feel like they're very similar. So that one is Starlight. Look how pigmented those are. Isn't that crazy? That's why I feel like that these are still my favorites compared to the glow kits. I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but I feel like because these are so intense, I love them. Like, I feel like that they're amazing. They're like best formula ever for her highlights. And then the other highlights that I literally fell in love with so hard when I started using them, and I feel like I've only been using them since like October maybe, are the Makeup Geek highlighters. And I only have this highlighting palette from Kathleen Lights, but I knew they were going to be amazing when I tried them out. And the three shades are Sunlight, Starlight, and Nightlight. As you can tell, I've used this quite a bit. I can't get enough of this. They're so intense, but they're so buttery. And I was like, I knew when I was going to try out Makeup Geek highlighters that they were going to be flipping amazing. So those are the three right here. God, why can you never see anything? Right there. Those are the three. That one is Starlight. That one is, oh my God, Sunlight, and the other one is Nightlight. And I really love mixing them all together with Starlights because, or I just love mixing them too because like if this one's a little bit too dark for me, I'll go in with this one and this one. Beautiful. They're intense, buttery, amazing. They just look so good on the skin. I really wish I could pick up some more of these now, but hopefully I will be able to soon. And then the last Can this please stay where it's supposed to go? Okay, I'm just going to put it down here. That's really annoying me. Okay. Then the last formulas I really want to mention are the MAC Mineralized Skin Finishes. I love these, and again, anything that is a mineralized skin finish from MAC are completely amazing. This one is called Soft and Gentle. This is probably their most popular one, and I know a lot of people mention this, but I really love the MAC formulas. They have an intensity to them. They're not like super intense, but they have like a subtle intensity to them that still makes them really gorgeous when they catch the light. Oh, it's so pretty. It's such a perfect undertone. And then the last one is Lightscapade. And this one is much lighter than Soft and Gentle, but it's so beautiful when it reflects the light as well. And it's a little bit more of like a matte sheen rather than Soft and Gentle, which is a little bit more intense. But on the cheeks, this is so beautiful. Like, it's not as reflective as Soft and Gentle, but it reflects really beautifully on your face. And then the last one is the Urban Decay Afterglow 8-Hour Powder Highlighter in the shade Sin. Really gorgeous. This one is more of like a very light gold shade, and I was so excited to hear that they were coming out with a Sin highlighter. But it is much different than the Sin eyeshadow, but I just think that they made it better, honestly. It is so beautiful. Like, Urban Decay just slayed the game this year. Like, there's so many amazing products from them this year. And overall, they were my favorite brand this year. And this was no exception. I knew they were going to slay it with highlighters too. I was so excited because I wasn't really a huge fan of like the illuminators because I didn't want all of that glitter going on. And I just couldn't wait for them to come out with this. Like, I was stalking Sephora when they came out with this. I'm like, I need it, I need it, I need it. And I got it, and I was so excited. And then I just really wanted to mention this Tarte Skin Twinkle Lighting Palette. I think that this was probably the best highlighting product that Tarte came out with this past year. Wasn't really a fan of the Exposed Amazonian Clay highlighter. I think that this was much better. And because these ones are very intense, and again, you guys know I love my intense highlighters, disregard this middle part. It's freaking horrible. I really wish they just sold these highlighters individually, but it's probably a better deal if you just get them like this, and they probably would be like this size. I really wanted the second palette as well, but I still only have the first one, and I got this during the Vibe sale. And the highlighters are called Sunlight and Moonlight, but they're so buttery when you stick your fingers in. Probably going to use this tomorrow as a highlight instead, actually. And they're just really beautiful. I'm pretty sure they're these two that I just swatched over here. They're just very, very smooth when you dip your fingers in, and they're very intense on the cheeks. Really love that. And then, the last one I wanted to mention, I know I keep on saying the last one, but there's only two left, is the Cover FX illuminator in the shade Moonlight. I discovered this because of Candy Johnson. She mentioned it in a video, and I was like, you know what? Oh my god, like, I'm sorry, like a little bit of a piece of it kind of fell into my lap, and now I can't move because I need tissue now. But yeah, I love this. It's like kind of like a pinky neutral sheen, and it's just so intense and pretty on the cheeks. That one is Moonlight right there. It's just so pretty. Cover FX is such a kick-ass brand, and they really do make amazing products. Oh my god, why is this pigment going everywhere? Oh, so yeah. The last one I wanted to talk about, I know I said last one like 5 times already. This one is the Too Faced Candlelight Glow in the shade Rosy Glow. I'm actually wearing this because, and I swear, this packaging is really, really good. Like, I feel like more brands need more durable packaging for their highlighters rather than making some flimsy packaging like Becca does. It's like really thin. Like, honestly, like, I kind of like the outside packaging, but just this, way too thin. Like, come on. Like, you can make it a little bit more durable because your highlighters are very delicate, and I just feel like if I drop this, this wouldn't shatter as easily. But yeah, this is beautiful as well. I really love these Candlelight Glow powders. They're so pretty. So that one is right there. And I really wish I had the other shade of it. But again, this adds, again, a kind of like glow. Like literally, it's so pretty. And then the last product I wanted to talk about is my all-time favorite product to finish my makeup with. What is going on with my hair? Ooh, okay, Kaylin, you're almost done. I love using this to finish my makeup with. It's beautiful. It just really helps my makeup just blend all together and really blend out the blush and the highlight, and also blend out the highlight on the nose, but also has a really pretty like blurring effect, and it just makes your skin look flawless, but also gives a beautiful kind of like glow. It's not powdery at all. It doesn't look like you're really adding anything. It just like adds a really subtle, beautiful, flawless finish to your makeup. You just look airbrushed basically, but it doesn't look airbrushed. You know what I mean? Like it looks completely natural, and I fell in love with this after I tried it after I used the Luminous Light powder for the longest time. I love this more for finishing my makeup with. I really want the Luminous Light powder as a highlighter again, but yeah, this is amazing as a finishing powder. And yeah, that is it. That's it. We got through it finally. Oh my god, that was a nightmare. So anyway, please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at CBW819, and my Twitter is PokerFace819, and my Snapchat is PokerFace819. And you know what's funny is that every single time I've been recording these Best in Beauty videos, I'm wearing a ColourPop Ultra Matte lip, and I think I'm going to be wearing another one tomorrow just because I feel like I need to keep up the pattern. I just think that that's really, really funny. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to go. Bye. And then the last installment will be lip products, which will be up on Thursday, I believe. So yeah, bye.